On Valentine's Day, my girlfriend sent me a message that read, "Going to dinner with the girls instead. We'll do something tomorrow." I responded with a simple, "Of course." Then, without hesitation, I posted a video showing myself donating the jewelry I'd bought for her to a women's shelter. The internet adored it until she saw it. I've never been the type to make a fuss over Valentine's Day. To me, it's just another Tuesday. But my girlfriend of 3 years, Jessica, viewed it completely differently. For her, Valentine's Day was the Super Bowl of romance, a day reserved for grand gestures, lavish gifts, and, above all, a carefully curated public display of affection for her social media audience. I went along with it because it made her happy, and I believed I loved her, or at least I thought I did. A month in advance, I secured a reservation at one of the city's most exclusive restaurants. I arranged for an extravagant bouquet of flowers to be delivered to her office. And sitting on my desk was a sleek, dark blue box containing a diamond necklace that cost more than my first car. I was fully prepared to play my role in the grand performance she called Valentine's Day. Then, around noon on the actual day, while I was deep in a client meeting, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Jessica. "Hey babe, so sorry to do this, but the girls are having a total meltdown about their boyfriends. We've decided to do an emergency Galentine's dinner tonight instead. I feel terrible, but they really need me. We'll do something tomorrow. I promise. Love you." I stared at the message for a full minute, the words swimming before my eyes. It wasn't the cancellation itself that struck me. It was the casual, almost flippant tone. The utter disregard for the time and effort I'd invested. The assumption that I'd simply wait around patiently for her tomorrow, and that ridiculous phrase, emergency Galentine's dinner. I knew her friends well. The only emergency they ever faced was a flash sale at their favorite designer boutique. I'm a patient man by nature. As a financial analyst, my profession revolves around identifying patterns. And for months, I'd been noticing a clear and troubling pattern with Jessica. A growing sense of entitlement, the way she'd mention her friends' expensive gifts with thinly veiled jealousy, the subtle but persistent jabs about my boring job and my supposed lack of spontaneity. This text wasn't an isolated incident. It was the final, undeniable data point confirming a downward trend. I typed back just 2 words, "Of course." Then I excused myself from the meeting, returned to my office, and sat at my desk, staring at the blue jewelry box. Inside lay $5,000 worth of compressed carbon, a symbol of devotion meant for a woman who had just chosen gossip with her friends over our carefully planned evening. In that moment, a profound clarity washed over me. This relationship wasn't merely struggling, it was a bad investment, and it was time to cut my losses. But I wasn't going to walk away quietly. She had made a public spectacle of dismissing me. So I decided to make a public spectacle of my liberation using her own weapon. The court of public opinion. Update 1. My plan unfolded in stages. First, I canceled our restaurant reservation. Then I contacted the florist and redirected the flowers not to my home, but to the front desk of the nearest children's hospital. After that, I took the jewelry box and left the office, heading across town to a respected women's shelter called The Haven, a safe haven for women and children escaping abusive situations, sustained entirely by donations and goodwill. I asked to speak with the director, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s, named Margaret. I explained that I had a Valentine's gift no longer needed by its intended recipient and wished to donate it to the shelter. She could use it however she saw fit, raffle it off at a fundraiser, or give it to a woman rebuilding her life from nothing. Margaret was visibly moved. She opened the box, her eyes widening at the sight of the diamond necklace. "This is incredibly generous," she said, almost breathless. "Are you sure?" "I've never been more certain of anything in my life," I replied. Then came the real move. I asked if I could film a short video assuring her I wouldn't show any faces, only her hands holding the box and the shelter's logo in the background. I explained that I wanted to transform a personal disappointment into something positive, to inspire others to give back. After some hesitation, she agreed. I set up my phone, hit record, and spoke directly to the camera. Hi everyone, I'm Alex. Today is Valentine's Day, and like many of you, I had plans. I bought flowers and this necklace for someone I care about deeply. But life happens, and plans change. I was left with a choice. I could dwell on disappointment, or I could try to create something good from it. This necklace was meant to symbolize love for one person. Now it's going to symbolize hope for many. I'm here at The Haven, a remarkable organization that helps women and children rebuild their lives. I'm donating this to support their mission. So if your Valentine's Day didn't go as planned, know you're not alone. And maybe, just maybe, the best way to heal a broken heart is to help someone else mend theirs. Happy Valentine's Day. I stopped recording, thanked Margaret, and left. At home, I edited the video to include the shelter's website and donation link, then posted it not on my personal accounts, but on a popular local news and events page on Facebook and Twitter, using hashtags like #RealValentine's #PayItForward, and our city's name. Then I turned off my phone, poured myself a glass of whiskey, and waited. The internet didn't disappoint. By morning, the video had gone viral, shared thousands of times. Featured as the top story on the local news page, my face plastered everywhere. Comments poured in. This is what a real man looks like. Someone's ex is crying in a corner right now. What a huge mistake she made. I just donated to The Haven in your name. Alex, thank you for the inspiration. The narrative was perfect. A humble hero. Me. A faceless villain. The heartless ex. And a noble cause. Within hours, news stations were calling, eager to interview the Valentine's Day angel. I politely declined them all, claiming I didn't want attention, which, of course, only amplified my image as a selfless, humble man. Jessica's first message came around noon. My phone is blowing up. What did you do? I didn't reply. An hour later, she called. I let it go to voicemail. Her message was a masterpiece of denial and outrage. Alex, what the hell is going on? My mom just called asking if we broke up. That video is everywhere. You donated my Times necklace, the one you bought for me. You had no right. Call me back right now. Asterisk. Her Times necklace. The one she'd never seen, never held, never even known existed. The sheer entitlement was staggering. I remained silent, waiting for her next move. I knew she wouldn't stop at anger. She'd wage full-scale social media war. And I was ready. Asterisk, asterisk. Update 2. Asterisk, asterisk. That afternoon, Jessica launched her counterattack on Instagram. She posted a tearful selfie with a long, rambling story accusing me of toxic manipulation, claiming we'd had a minor disagreement and that I'd staged the entire donation to publicly humiliate her. She even alleged I'd already given her the necklace and then stole it back to make a self-serving video. Her friends, her loyal chorus of enablers, immediately rallied. They shared her post with venomous commentary. He's always been a controlling psycho. This is what she's endured for years. This isn't charity. It's emotional abuse. She skipped one night to support her friends, and he does times this asterisk. Red Flag City. They tried to flip the script, painting me as the abuser and her as the victim. It was a smart play, but fatally flawed. Their entire narrative was built on lies, and I had the receipts. Rather than engage directly, I waited for a local news blogger who'd written a glowing piece about my donation to reach out for comment. When she did, I sent a calm, factual statement, along with 2 pieces of evidence. 1. A time-stamped receipt showing I purchased the necklace on the morning of Valentine's Day. 2. A screenshot of Jessica's text canceling our plans at noon that same day. The blogger updated her article within the hour. The new headline cut deep. Asterisk, asterisk. Valentine's Day Angel's ex accuses him of theft receipts. Tell a different story. Asterisk asterisk. The timeline was undeniable. 10 a.m. Necklace purchased. 1912. Jessica cancels plans. 3 p.m. Donation made. The internet, briefly confused, turned on her with brutal force. Her Instagram comments became a wasteland of mockery. So you're mad because he donated a necklace you didn't even know existed after you blew him off on Valentine's Day? The entitlement is unreal. Girl, you didn't just drop the bag, you threw it into a charity furnace. This is a masterclass in becoming the most hated person in the city in 24 hours. But I wasn't finished. Her over-the-top reaction raised a red flag. I suspected the emergency Valentine's dinner was a cover, so that same day I hired a private investigator. I gave him the names of her friends, and one task: find out where they really were on Valentine's night. Within 24 hours, he had the truth. Credit card records and geotagged social posts showed two of her friends dining together, but Jessica wasn't with them. She was at a far more intimate, upscale restaurant across town with her ex-boyfriend, Ben. The man she'd sworn was ancient history. The PI even obtained a photo. The two of them, holding hands across the table. I kept that photo. It was my insurance policy, my ace in the hole. I'd wait for the perfect moment to reveal it. Asterisk, asterisk. Final update. Asterisk, asterisk. Jessica's life unraveled slowly. Then all at once, after the public backlash, she deleted her social media. But the damage was irreversible. The story had become too viral, too scandalous. She turned into a local pariah. Her friends, fearing guilt by association, abandoned her, claiming she'd lied to them about being with her ex. Her career collapsed next. Working in public relations, a field where image is everything, she became toxic. Her firm, inundated with online criticism, quietly let her go weeks later. Her parents, once her fiercest defenders, were humiliated. When her father, a prominent local businessman, lost a major client because of the scandal, they issued an ultimatum: get a real job, pay your own bills, and publicly apologize to Alex. She refused, still clinging to her victim fantasy. So they kicked her out. For the first time in her life, Jessica was truly alone, jobless, penniless, and homeless. 2 months after Valentine's Day, she showed up at my door late one night, looking like a shadow of her former self, hollow-eyed, exhausted, broken. She cried, apologized, promised to change. She claimed Ben meant nothing, that she still loved me. I let her talk for 5 full minutes. Then, without a word, I pulled out my phone and showed her the photo. Her and Ben, hands clasped, in that romantic restaurant on Valentine's night. Her face collapsed. Every last lie had been stripped away. I know everything, Jessica, I said quietly. I've known since the beginning. She began begging, pleading for a place to stay, for money, to get back on her feet. I just shook my head. You had a home, I told her. You had a man who loved you and provided for you, and you traded it all for a dinner with your ex. You made your choice. Now you live with it. I closed the door, leaving her standing on my porch in the dark. My revenge was never about the necklace. It was about revealing true value. She chose a fleeting thrill over lasting loyalty. I chose self-respect over a relationship built on deception. In the end, we both got exactly what we deserved.